It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
What's it gon' take? I just made something out of nothing. Hey, what you gon' make? We all got the same 24. I feel like number 8. So improve, make some moves. It's a legend on the way. I just had to mess some things out, so I made a play. Make 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 a play. Tell me who gon' stop me when I get in my zone. You can't prevent me from what's destined. I was made for the throne. I got my stadium packed, my game fully intact. I put in practice every morning, they don't know how to act. My coach told me do my thing, get the ring, ain't no strings. Everybody know the vibes when they see me on the screen. If you ever cross the line, that's gonna be an ugly scene. But I'm finna take flight, looking like I grew some wings. What's it gon' take? I just made something out of nothing. Hey, what you gon' make? We all got the same 24. I feel like number 8. So improve, make some moves. It's a legend on the way. I just had to mess some things out, so I made a play. Make 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 a play.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Now, we're going to take a little bit of a left turn from the music talk on my channel because Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James, this has been a story for like the last 2 to 3 weeks. I've been avoiding it. I've been staying away from it, but it looks like this week, everything has taken another turn. The unexpected happened first off because, number one, LeBron James hardly ever does interviews. He made an appearance on the Pat McAfee show in which he addressed this whole Stephen A. Smith situation. For those that are not really abreast with the situation, let me just give you a quick rundown. For those that are already familiar, y'all gonna know. But basically, y'all know at the start of the season, there was all this talk about Bronny James getting drafted by the Lakers, and was LeBron actually doing him a disservice by, basically putting the pressure on the Lakers to draft his son? Some people felt like he was not ready for the league. Some people felt like he needed to, perhaps stay in college a little bit longer and go through the system and develop his game. Others felt like he should have had the opportunity to get drafted by a different team, not go to the Lakers and the team that his legendary father already plays on, so he can develop at his own pace and not have that LA spotlight on him, that overbearing scrutiny, those things. And some people felt like, this is just nepotism at its finest. He had no business being there in the first place, right? Well, one of the people that criticized LeBron was Stephen A. Smith. And what he ended up saying was it was not even related to basketball. He said that he questioned LeBron James as a father for putting his son in that position, which is ultimately what LeBron ended up having a problem with, right? So he goes on after all of that happens, they go through the season. LeBron's having a good season. They end up getting Luka, blah, blah, blah. Everything's good. Bronny's been playing in the G League. He's been busting ass in the G League. He came up a few nights ago, actually played in an NBA game, dropped like 17 points. He was looking good. Like he's coming along just fine, right? But a couple weeks ago, Stephen A. Smith popped out at a Lakers game and LeBron James confronted him, walked up to him, during a break and basically let him know, I don't appreciate you talking shit about me and my kid. You know what I'm saying? Leave my son out of this. Don't be trying to play with my son, as a father. It ends up getting blown out of proportion in the media. Stephen A. Smith has been going to every media outlet that he could possibly go to talk about the situation and say, he knew what he was doing. He was being strategic. He knew to approach me in front of a crowd because if he didn't, we could have went any kind of way. We could have stepped outside. We could have did this and that. Basically alluding to the fact that he's not no sucker and he was willing to defend himself and get into a fisticuffs if needed with LeBron James. I don't think that's the way you would have wanted that to go. Stephen A, you know, you're not the most out of shape motherfucker, but you're not the most in shape motherfucker either. You know what I'm saying? I think you pushing 60 years old. LeBron is just hitting 40, and that motherfucker still look like a wrestler to this day. Now, I ain't saying he got the hand speed of Pernell or nothing like that, but if he catch your ass, shit could get tricky, right? LeBron James ends up putting up a video, I guess, of Stephen A many years ago doing some boxing training and embarrassed the fuck out of Stephen A. And he took offense to that as well. So for a refresher course, let's go ahead and just look at LeBron approaching Stephen A here. Real quick. Didn't seem like much, you know what I'm saying? It was during a timeout. He didn't have a lot of free time to really have a conversation with him. This is March 7th. So this shit is an old story by now, but Stephen A has been dragging this shit out like Busta Rhymes Look At Me Now verse. You know what I'm saying? It's just dragging on into the new millennia. You feel me? But I know Busta just caught a stray. I love Bust, but he been looking crazy lately. So then let's get into LeBron posting this Stephen A boxing training video.
Clean up that cut more. Raise him up. Yeah, make it more free. That push. Clean up that.
Let's look at this again. This is
Raise him up.
God
Yeah, make
damn.
it more free. That push. Clean up that.
Man, what the hell? That motherfucker look like Meek Mill's training, don't it? Now I know boxing ain't the easiest sport, you know, and if anybody got caught on camera training, you might look a little less than stellar. But when you out here talking about you could possibly, you know, invite somebody to the hands, that ain't the type of shit you want somebody having on you. I'm just gonna be honest about that. So now let's get to a couple days ago where LeBron made his appearance on the Pat McAfee show. And, you know, he basically said that Stephen A. Smith is on a Taylor Swift tour run right now, which he absolutely has been. So let's hear what Bron had to say.
Yep.
Which leads obviously to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift
Yeah.
tour run right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're watching it.
Yep.
We're all seeing it.
Oh, yeah.
We're all, you're seeing it as well. It's
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, went viral. You would be not to
Motherfucker,
talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like seriously, and like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, you know, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, you know, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. You know, and I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about him again. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair in his tighty whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance.
Yeah,
to but you're right. There will be.
Dude, like relax, bro. Like relax. Like seriously. Yep.
So that's LeBron speaking directly to Stephen A. Smith. And he says, you know, not only is he protecting his son or his household, but also protecting his, you know, team, which Bronny is now his teammate as well as his son, right? And I'm going to be honest, a lot of the scrutiny that Bronny has been under is definitely not fitting the bill. Like, yeah, of course, he's got a legendary, arguably the greatest of all time, debatable for a father. And coming up under that tutelage, you're going to be under a microscope. It comes with the territory, all those things. But it should be understood that he's not going to be LeBron James. He comes from total different conditions. The ecosystem and environment in which a LeBron James was created is out of poverty, out of desperation, and out of like, if I don't get out this fucking town that I live in, I may die. You know what I'm saying? So he played basketball for totally different reasons, or just partook in sports for totally different reasons than his kids. You know what I'm saying? So those circumstances produce very different results. Not to say that you can't be a good athlete coming out of a more privileged position. It's just that those that come out of really fucked up conditions typically have more riding on the line for their success, which creates a different level of hunger and purpose behind what it is that you're doing. You get what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, Stephen A is feeling like LeBron James' real issue with him is that Stephen A doesn't regard him as the greatest. He basically feels like because he still puts Jordan above LeBron in his top 5 GOAT conversation, that LeBron will never like him strictly off of that. When I don't think that's the problem. I think there's a lot of people that have said LeBron ain't their GOAT. LeBron's not my GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I got Kobe and Jordan above him in my personal. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my baby Jamie. But whatever your list is, I'm sure LeBron don't really give two fucks, because when it's all said and done, he's the points leader, gonna fuck around and be among the assist leaders, most games, best career games. You know, as he gets older up in age, beyond 40, he's gonna set all types of records if he continues to play. He's got championships, he's got MVPs, he's got fucking all NBA. He's accomplished everything that he's needed except go undefeated in the finals. You know what I'm saying? That's the only hitch on his record. So I don't really think what somebody else has to say about his career is going to make him feel a way, not to that degree. When he knows what he's accomplished, his teams know what he's accomplished, the sport, the world knows what he's accomplished because he did it in front of all of our faces. Stephen A ain't all that important in the grand scheme of things. But I think, again, the reason why he was approached was because you're not finna come out here and question me as a father. We don't even know do Stephen A even have kids? I know he do a show. I know he does his podcast with his nephew. Like, and I understand you can speak to people's parenthood without having children. I understand that. I did it before I had a son. But at the same time, there's still a certain level of respect and boundaries that you should have when you speak on somebody else's child or their parenting, especially when you don't know shit about their parenting outside of the fact that he put his child in a position to be successful at a young age. That's the only hitch that people have. Oh, maybe he didn't deserve it. Okay, nigga, and what? Look at all these motherfucking companies out here where nepotism is playing a role, where relatives is getting ahead just off of the bloodline and not putting in a tenth of the work that Bronny has on his own, because he's going out and performing. He's out there putting up numbers now. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he didn't have an athletic bone in his body and just got drafted. Now here's part of Stephen A responding back to LeBron.
But don't the truth matter? Because there's one person in this ordeal that's telling the truth, and it's me. I don't lie to y'all. His ass lies a lot. And there's a lot of shady stuff that he does. And one of the things is his passive aggressiveness and the two-facedness and smile in your face and dig you behind the back. I happen to know that about him, which is why I don't like him. And he don't like me. But it doesn't stop me from being fair and calling it like I see it. We ain't exchanging Christmas gifts. We ain't having Thanksgiving dinner together. What you bring your son up in there for? What you bring your family up in there before? You gonna go on Pat McAfee show, talk about you gonna protect your house. What you talking about? Your son ain't at the house. He's at crypto.com arena. We ain't covering him in Brentwood. We covering him in downtown LA at the crypto.com arena, where you put him. Now, I happen to believe that he's going to be ready. I think Bronny's going to be an NBA player. I believe in the kid personally. But LeBron did this. Now, to get to he and I, could y'all please go back to the video of him getting in my face? If you watch, ladies and gentlemen, and you see it for yourself, notice how LeBron is in my face, and right when he finishes, he looks past me right at the camera that was filming it. Watch him. I didn't even pick that up first go round. You got Markieff Morris to my right, his left. You got Scott Brooks, assistant coach, behind him. He finishes talking and looks right up to the camera. Everybody and their mother knew I was going to be there. Because when you sit courtside, the Lakers have an idea of who's going to show up. He knew I was coming. And picked the third quarter in the middle of the game to say what he has to say to make sure the camera's rolling, and to then look at the camera after immediately saying what he said to me, with me having no chance to respond.
Well, he ain't have
We
all
could
day
have went
talk
to the
you.
back after the game. LeBron James could have came right over the press row and said, yo, don't leave. I want to see you after the game. We got to have a conversation. And before any of these players or any professional athlete or anybody associated with them says another syllable, think about this. 99.
So that's part of Stephen A's response to LeBron. You know, he's basically trying to say that he was grandstanding for the cameras, trying to make it a big public spectacle on purpose, which I don't doubt that LeBron wanted the cameras to catch exactly what was taking place, because you came out on your platform and questioned his fatherhood again. You questioning how LeBron plays. You questioning how Bronny plays on the court. I don't think nobody had no problem with that. There's so many countless other journalists in this space that have critiqued Bronny's play and his readiness for the NBA. We don't see LeBron James jumping in their face at the game addressing them. It's the fact that you said, I'm coming to you as a father, and you ain't even a father to my knowledge, and saying, you put your son in this position, blah, 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 blah. So when you take it there and a person says, all right, well, I'm addressing you as his father. The first time that I get to see you in my vicinity, I'm going to say something to you, and I'm going to make sure the cameras is watching, because you address me publicly. I'm going to address you publicly and let the people wonder what the fuck I got to say. I think that's extremely fair. He didn't smack you. He didn't put his hands on you. He came up to you. He addressed you in the quick time that he had in between timeout. And then he went about his business, and you had to watch the rest of the game steaming Willie beaming. And that shit gets under your motherfucking skin so bad that you're out here making journalistic mistakes while trying to plead your case, because he out here saying that he ain't show up to Kobe's memorial and all this other shit, just completely stinking up the place. So here is Stephen A talking about never bringing up that LeBron never went to Kobe Bryant's memorial service, which even if he didn't go, that's not relevant to the subject. But now he's just trying to dig for dirt to try to go low on LeBron.
I suggest that he be happy with the things that I haven't brought up. I never brought up really and never really discussed why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service. I never really brought up or discussed why you did not attend Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction when that man was directly responsible for you capturing a championship for the first time in your career. I brought up none of that. I didn't bring up the fact that even though when people had asked, you had alluded to what had happened tragically to your son, and thank God he's okay with his heart condition. I didn't bring up the fact that even though you couldn't go to the Hall of Fame induction of Dwayne Wade weeks earlier, you were out of the country on business. I didn't bring that up. That's your personal business, okay? But the fact is, you wasn't at the Hall of Fame induction of a brother that's going to drastically assist to you being a Hall of Famer because he helped you become the champion that you are, and he was a big brother to you. I brought up none of these things. But LeBron James, at the end of the day, wants to come at me, and he's walking around pouting. Why would he be pouting? The man is 22. He is universally recognized as the Mount Rushmore of basketball.
22 years in, not 22 years old. Again, a fuck up.
He is unquestionably one of the greatest players to have ever played basketball. I have him top 2. Stab me in the chest. Crucify me. Throw me in jail. Of the thousands upon thousands of players who have played in NBA history, I have this man number 2 overall in the history of basketball, despite Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being a 19-time All-Star, a 6-time champion, a 6-time league MVP. It was the greatest, the most trusted move, offensive move in NBA history with the skyhook. I still had him ahead of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's not enough. So much so that you go this route. It's very unfortunate that he has done this. It's very unfortunate that he has tried to ostracize me amongst the NBA community and the sports world and beyond, talking about how I talk about I'm pooping on the players and all of this other stuff. They don't bring up all the time we praise the players. I applaud them when they win. I criticize them when they're messing up in an effort to make sure that you don't do it again. I'm not wishing anybody to fail, but I have to call it how I see it because I have an audience to answer to.
See, this is a man who's missing the mark, you know? And crazy thing is, there was once upon a time, Stephen A. Smith is like one of the most hated guys in sports today, but it was once upon a time when he was one of the most loved. He was one of the most respected journalists and media personalities in the space. There was once upon a time when Stephen A. Smith was, you know, the go-to guy for all things Allen Iverson in his heyday. He was the go-to guy for NBA talk. You know what I mean? He came back, and when they created First Take, he was that guy for, you know, he kind of spoke our language. He ain't a Stuart Scott, but he kind of filled in that void. Now, of course, if y'all don't watch sports or sports television or anything like that, you wouldn't remember who Stuart Scott is, rest in peace. But, you know, there's select black men in sports media that have, you know, spoken the language of the culture and gotten love of the culture. Stephen A. was one of those people, but in recent years, he's turned himself into a heel. He's turned himself into like a villain, and that's allowed him to make multiple millions of dollars, having multiple $100 million contracts in the space. So he's laughing to the bank, whether or not we agree with him, like him, or whatever. Even this LeBron thing is only just driving up his value at the end of the day. But at the same time, you're putting your actual journalistic character in question by making terrible mistakes in speech, by trying to defend yourself. Why is it that LeBron, who never speaks to the press, all of a sudden he does one fucking interview, shares his side of the story, his narrative, addresses a couple of people who always every day and night, because every game that comes on, y'all are on TV damn near 24/7. They replay y'all episodes of what y'all be talking about. He comes out, does one fucking interview, and you go into a meltdown. So why is it that you get to talk about him, but he can't respond in no type of way? That's like me, you know, talking about the people that I speak about on my platform, and they say, you know, I don't like what you said about me, Nolan, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. I don't mind you being, you know, feeling how you feel. I didn't disrespect you, don't disrespect me. You can speak how you feel, and we can either have a conversation outside of it, or you could just go about life feeling how you feel, and I'm gonna continue to talk my shit, or I'm gonna say I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple. And everybody in this space is subjected to those same guidelines or rules or parameters. You say what you say. You say what you say. I can't talk about you and not give you the right to respond. But it seems to me that that's what Stephen A. wanted. He wanted LeBron to continue with his program of never speaking and never responding because he normally doesn't. And now that he has, it's got you with your boxers running all up in your ass cheeks, man. Get it together. So now Stephen A. Smith comes out and literally has to apologize. He says, "My apologies and clarification. I misspoke in hour 1 of First Take today when I intimated that LeBron did not attend Kobe Bryant's memorial. I corrected myself in hour 2 when I acknowledged he was indeed in attendance. My mistake, should not have even broached that subject. It was not my main point. I retract nothing else that I said. Have a nice day." But when you come out here and imply or just outright say that he did not attend Kobe Bryant's memorial, and you know we live in clip culture, and this is something that's important. We're talking about Kobe Bryant, a fallen soldier legend in basketball, and you come out and try to attack LeBron's character because you don't like how he responded to you and say, well, I never spoke about how you didn't go to Kobe's memorial, which you're being salacious, you're being messy, and you're trying to turn people against LeBron to say, well, damn, why didn't he go? Why the fuck wasn't he there? What the hell is that about? How disrespectful is that? You didn't go to this man's memorial when he welcomed you into Lakerland? Completely wrong. But you knew what your intention was when you said it, which is why you have to come out and apologize. Why continue to feed into this? You said what you said. You went on 5-6 different podcasts. I could literally pull up 5 or 6 podcast episodes, which I will not do because he basically said all the same shit everywhere, talking about this man. So when he says 2 minutes worth of response to you, you went on your personal podcast, you went on your daily TV show, and you on Twitter talking shit about this man to try to make yourself look better. And you ultimately just make yourself look worse. Because if you're in an argument with somebody and in the midst of making your argument, you have to apologize for misspeaking or fucking it up, you're doing too much. This should be your time to sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, and just take it for what it is. Because today's athletes, today's people, LeBron ain't taking that shit. KD ain't taking that shit. Draymond ain't taking that shit. Anthony Edwards ain't taking that shit. You could go through and you could have however you feel about these people on or off the court. You're entitled to that. But as it pertains to how their relationship is with media, these new age players ain't just turning the other cheek. Y'all could get used to it or get left. So now we've got Ray Daniels coming into the conversation here, which is crazy because I don't even think this guy is into sports all that much. But he comes out and says Ray Daniels says LeBron James doing the Pat McAfee show was a sucker move. He called it a sucker move. He should have either did a sit-down interview with Stephen A. Smith directly or do an interview with a smaller channel that's trying to build their way to the top. What is it with y'all trying to police who people sit down with? Would you have preferred if he came and sat with you, Ray? I'm quite sure you would have. But he spoke to who he spoke to. Clearly, he had the relationship with Pat McAfee because I believe he's done their show before. So in this position, he's going to go sit with somebody that he has a relationship with. Some people may say, oh, he should have went to a black media personality. He should have went here. He should have went there. He should have went to Richard Jefferson. Again, Richard Jefferson don't even give a fuck. And most of y'all don't even know who Richard Jefferson is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, bruh? Let me turn this shit down.
He's on a mission to belittle Stephen A. Smith. I get that. And by the way, that's some genius shit to do on some, like, respect. I respect LeBron for how he's carrying Stephen A. It was on some power shit. You want me to show you my power, nigga? Let me show you my power. No doubt. Here's the why I said he was a sucker move. He should have went to a smaller podcaster. He should have went to a small... Nigga, you're LeBron James. You could have did a fucking kid podcast on the street. You would have changed that kid's life. You would have changed the ecosystem for that kid if you would have did it.
That's the last thing on LeBron James' mind when responding to Stephen A. is, let me go Let me go to somebody I ain't never heard of, never met before, and give them the exclusive. No, nigga. I'm gonna go to somebody who has a project, who has a show on the same channel that your ass got and comes on. What is it? After Stephen A. show? Yeah, we playing a different level at this point. You tell you go tell Ja Morant to go do an interview with some kid we ain't never heard of. He the one that needs his image restored. He the one that fucked up his position in the NBA. LeBron could sit down with any Tom, Dick, and or Harry, so he chooses, because he ain't never cheated the motherfucking game. This nigga been single-handedly given, well, I ain't gonna say single-handedly, but he been one of the biggest draw outside of Steph Curry for 2 decades. That nigga has the right to sit down with whoever he want to. The hell?
Could have did.
That's like people talking about Kendrick sitting down with SZA for Harper's Bazaar instead of going to fucking J Nolan. I would have loved it. But come the fuck on, man. Go sit down with a YouTuber that you ain't never heard of before, man. Come on, dog. That don't even make sense.
An unknown podcaster or a new podcaster or anything, but you want the Pat McAfee, a white kid who comes on right after Stephen A. Smith. Comes on right after him. That was sucker.
Racial politics didn't even play a role in this. It's 2 black men going at each other. What the fuck, bro?
Fucking shit. This is my problem. This is the internet again. It's like, you're LeBron James. You can say I'm here and we're gonna follow. Then do that. If you're gonna go out Stephen A. Smith, help the next one. Help the kid that likes you. Help the voice. Help one of those bronzexuals that love you and and say, I'm gonna pick you. That's the gangster move to do. You got on Stephen, because let's be clear, the internet's gonna find it and we're gonna go watch it. LeBron James does not need the biggest microphone for his voice to travel. He is LeBron fucking James. Whatever he says is gonna travel because of who he is, and he's smart enough to know that. And he's smart enough to know that. That's why he confronted Stephen A. But to me, listen, bro. You doing the same thing he doing. Now you want to talk about a nigga, talk to me, nigga, but you don't want to talk to me because it's going to help me. Okay, I get that. You want to see me be you want to show me how big you are, then show me how big you are and go to somebody small and make them big. Because let's be clear, Cat Williams fucking changed Club Shay Shay.
Did that.
If you're going to do an interview, nigga, break it. Like, let's.
Club Shay Shay was already ingrained into the, you know what I mean? Club Shay Shay was around for a minute now. He did turn Club Shay Shay up, but that wasn't a new show. It wasn't an unknown show. It was just the biggest episode to date of the show. But it wasn't no brand new show. Shannon Sharp was simultaneously on Club Shay Shay and on fucking Undisputed, being a daily subject. It worked out. It went viral. But that's not how that played out. Like, come the fuck on, bro. You just saying shit at this point.
Break a fucking new podcaster. Call a little nigga that love you, a little nigga that celebrates you, and go talk to him. Let them ask you. Talk to some kids. Some kids is like, yo, because if you was my dad, I would appreciate that. Give some voices to somebody else. It was sucker shit. It was whack. And that was my only thing I thought was sucker shit. But he's playing Stephen A. And I'm a Stephen A. fan. I'm a LeBron as a man fan. I like him as a player. But I'm not like a LeBron sexual. Like, nigga, I see
And it
flaws
was
in his
weeks
shit.
later, which is what I have a
But
problem
my thing
with.
is this. He should have talked to somebody smaller and gave them the platform. Everybody want to chase the bigger platform. If you big, you are big wherever you go. When I'm Ray Daniels, I walk wherever room I walk
So here's the
into, I
thing
feel
too.
like I'm
I'll
Ray
do you
Daniels.
one better. You got the God show.
Yep.
Let's say you got on the God show and you said something about somebody's son. That's easy to pick up the phone and say, yo, let Ray Daniels know I want to be his next guest on the God show. I want to talk to him about it.
Because I ain't gonna lie, you know, maybe I wasn't a fan of Chris Bosh, but I like that he confronted Skip Bayless. When Skip Bayless used to call him Bosh Spice, Chris or Spice Bosh. And Chris Bosh approached him and was like, yo, you disrespected my family name. That's my kid's last name. And Skip was like, oh, I didn't even think. I was just having fun. I respect that. Man shit. LeBron is acting like a kid right now. He called.
No, the fuck he didn't, man. The nigga, he spoke to him in person. He did an interview talking about it, and he intended to move on. But Stephen A. is dragging that shit out as you are with this narrative. All right? I'm over this shit now. So yeah, man, this whole LeBron James, Stephen A. thing has gotten way out of hand. hopefully we can reel this back in. We're getting ready to get into the NBA playoffs in just a few weeks. So this will soon be a figment of our imagination. It'll be a thing of the past. Hopefully they don't try to carry this too much further. I know Stephen A. gonna try to milk this shit all summer. Hopefully not, man. But you can critique LeBron again, but as a man, as an athlete, as a person, he has the right to respond back and share his side of the story or his perspective of the story. You're well within your rights to react and respond as well. But I feel like your response is kind of acting like he shouldn't, which I don't think is fair. But before I go, be sure to check out my previous video that dropped before this one. The Marcus Clay Bodies Not Like Us and Johnny P's Caddy. On the tail end of that video, we also watched a new music video from Ruben Vincent, who's a artist from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Ninth Wonder. Surprisingly, they both ended up joining the chat. So y'all know Ninth Wonder, legendary producer, been around since the early to mid 2000s. Talking about Lil Brother, Hove, Jay-Z. We talking about Wayne, produced for Drake. I know y'all don't like Drake. I know y'all funny on Wayne now. But we're talking about back in the back, you know what I mean? Produced for Badu, produced for so many people, you know what I'm saying? Over the years. Got Kendrick collabs, got motherfucker, all type of shit. The man who discovered Rhapsody, like, he ended up jumping in the chat along with Ruben Vincent, the artist that was on the song. Ruben said he was going to tap in with me. Perhaps we could try to get an interview on the channel. So, hey, man, as we grow over here, we just hit that 25K. I would love to have that conversation. You know, we're trying to arrange something with Chapo. Now we're going to be trying to arrange something with Ruben Vincent, who is, you know, he's signed to Ninth Wonder. He's also signed to Rock Nation. That will be an amazing stamp for the channel. I can't guarantee anything. I'm just letting y'all know what's going on as it's happening, because I'm super grateful and I just thank God. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what y'all think of all this other stuff down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video to spread it out there. And I will catch y'all on the next one. All right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming, I swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.